recording. Okay. Okay, well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. And this is a great group. I'm really so thankful for everybody to take time to do this. And even though I got myself together at the last minute, I think I've got some really cool things to share. And I love these kids. They're just awesome. So I like that we're family friendly. And so I'm just going to kind of let you guys start out with, well, to share with those of you that haven't been following along with what we're doing. We've been doing these Zoom calls on Tuesday night, and they're called Freedom Revolution calls, and we kind of post it as what is it that people need in order to have freedom. So that's why we entitled them Freedom Revolution calls. It's kind of part of the 90-day revolution game plan thing that came out, and we decided we were going to do these once a week. And it's been great fun for me because I'm not doing it by myself. It's part of the people on this call have really stepped up and taken a lot of leadership in doing them. And so I want to see if you guys would share briefly, because I really want to keep us at 30 minutes and we started late. And it's 10 after. So so those of you could just pop on and say, what has been your experience with the calls? How has that affected you personally, like as a person? And how has it affected your business? What are your thoughts? So I don't know who wants to go first.
I'll go first. I found them to be super helpful, personally and business-wise. I mean, personally, just to get more comfortable with speaking about the products and the business, and it's very relaxed, and there's no pressure. And sometimes we only have one person on besides our team members, and a couple times we've had maybe 4 or 5 people. So it's a great experience just to practice talking. And then business-wise, I mean, I've found it helpful. I've gotten a couple customers, I've had some orders come in because of it. And, even if I'm still working on getting those orders, there's definite follow-up, and one woman that was on last week, right away started texting me afterwards and said, oh, this was so great. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was the perfect time of day for it, and it was the perfect length of a call. And I didn't even ask her, like, what do you think? She just was sharing her opinion on just the event itself. She's like, I loved that, I didn't feel pressured, and, it was very to the point, which, of course it is, because we go with a script.
Well, I wanted you to explain what the format was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's a scripted event, and, the company gave us a script, and then we've kind of modified it as we've gone week to week, because some things, don't sound so comfortable maybe that we're saying. So it's evolved, but it's very to the point, and we talk about, we do an introduction, we talk a little bit about what this Freedom Revolution is, and we go into the products, and we talk about product stories, and then the business itself and what it has to offer. Fairly minimally, we've been hitting on that. We don't want to scare people to think that, oh, we have you on this call and we want you to, join our team and go start selling things, but just give them enough information that they may become intrigued and see, why we're so excited about it. And some business stories, and then, a conclusion. So we keep it to less than a half an hour. Our goal has been like 22, 25 minutes for a recording, and then Carolyn's able to put that onto a YouTube, and then we can share with people, the next day and following week.
There's some personal growth for you, right?
No, you've gotten good at it. Now you know how to name it and everything. And I've shared those. And actually, I have somebody who I had invited last week, and she, the next day was like, oh crap, I forgot, to get on. And I said, oh, you want me to we recorded it, I can send it to you. And she actually watched it. I feel like I sometimes I share it with people and then they never watch it. But she just on Saturday wrote back and said, "Oh, you're such a natural on that webinar. Where can I go to find out more about the products?" And I was like, "Oh, yes." So it's just, you know, it's
even shorter soon because I'll send you the thing tonight.
Oh yeah, even shorter. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be a little short.
Maybe like 5 minutes. So yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great that it's weekly because it's, you know, we all know it's Tuesday night, 8:30 to 9, and you know we're done.
I thought it was 8 to 8:30. Which one are we doing? Are we doing 8:30?
No, 8:30 to 9.
Okay, we're doing 8:30.
We got 1 week we did 8 because you had something at 8:30, but no, 8:30 to 9.
Okay.
8:30 tomorrow night.
Because all of our other calls are at 8. That was
Yeah.
my original intention.
Well, is it that her time, does she have, you know, when we spring forward in our time, because it's 8 o'clock, it's not even 8:30 yet.
Right. The Zoom calls we're apparently doing at 8:30.
No, tonight's call's 8 o'clock.
I don't know how we got that switched because our goal was to always do it at the same time. But I think maybe we thought we could catch more bees that way than with honey than doing 8 o'clock. Sometimes that's like bedtime. We're really good.
Yeah, you had said you thought parents with young kids would have an easier time getting on at 8:30. That was the reason for your.
Yeah, that's
And I think that was actually because of Eliza. She had said, you know, by 8:30, you know, the kids can be.
Mine are all staggered, so don't do it because of me. I got one at 8:30, and 9.
Yeah.
Well, Sandy, tell us just briefly a little of your experience.
It's been really cool for me because I feel like this is something that I could do even myself if I wanted to with a new rep, like with my daughter, with friends. If she wanted to have just one person get on, I could actually do this. And so it's made me a little bit more confident doing that. I mean, I could talk about the product. That's very easy for me to do, to share with somebody, throw up all over somebody. But this is a way to keep it short. And it's also a way to introduce the business. And I love the weekly things that it does. It just gives us practice. And it also is like Terry said, it's very informal. So you can, you know, they say part of the script right from the get-go is, you know, this isn't something you can buy right now or sign up for anything. We just want to give you some information. And that just sets people at ease. And it sets me at ease right from the beginning because I don't think they're going to think I'm trying to sell them something. I just, you know, that's the stated purpose, is to give information. So I think it's really great.
Hey, Deb. How about you, Eliza?
Yeah, I love the consistency of having a set day and time to where even in passing conversation, when you bring up Juice Plus, you have something to invite them to. You don't have to go into great length, especially for new reps and new people, which I still consider myself getting used to the process. It's easy just to initiate the conversation and invite them just to learn more. And but you're getting on a call you're familiar with. They're going to see your face possibly, and you know, interact with, you know, your team. So I like the consistency of that, and you know, the personal growth of doing a weekly call obviously gets us more confident with that. So that's my favorite part, is just the consistency. It can be in a quick conversation and you know you have something to invite them to. And I believe that it helps everybody to just bring people to share the process and share the information. And again, to recap for Tasha and other girls that may not, and Stephen, sorry guys, that you know, this is a scripted conversation that is an overcap of everything that just kind of introduces the business at the end. And we have edited it down to kind of, you know, make it make sense for us. So like Sandy said, I like the fact it is something we can use, that anybody can use. And that, you know, if someone can't make the Tuesday night call, I would be comfortable, you know, doing it myself as well. Yeah. If Tasha was to have, you know, somebody was interested and couldn't make it that night, you know, you could do it as a 3-way call very easily with your upline. So there's a lot of possibilities with the script, and then with the weekly call, just kind of using it to build on it and see how we can apply it to more people.
Yeah.
Another thing I think is I'm finding success with telling people that I'm speaking, because then it's like, oh, all right. Like, I wonder what she's going to talk. I mean, I tell them what I'm going to talk about a little bit, but I just kind of say, oh, it's about nutrition and, you know, healthy living and, I'm going to be speaking and I'd love to be able to, see a familiar face on there. And that seems to engage people. Whereas other times I've sent invites for calls that, maybe I'll be on it, but they're not going to know I'm on it. And it just.
Yeah. And unless the topic's just really compelling, they don't care.
Yeah.
Why would I want to get on that call, So, yeah.
So I think that's helpful.
Nancy's driving home from work, I think.
I'm in the car, that's for sure.
Yeah. Nancy's been a part of the calls too, and what's your experience, briefly?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. First time I use Zoom on my phone in the car. So, works, girls. And I think everyone's really covered everything. I think still that the stories are what touch the heart, and the, business model / the script reinforces that we're not a fly-by-night business. And so that instills confidence in the product too. But I just think when people share from the heart their little stories, and it just reaches people and touches people, and again, the consistency and seeing the team grow has just been amazing. I know it does take more than one person to be successful in this, and so I'm sure this is bringing a lot of joy to Carolyn, and I'm enjoying watching it too.
Yeah. I just grin like a Cheshire cat. It really is fun. How about you, Deb? You've been a part of them. Lots of time, Deb's job is to introduce the call. At first I did, and now we're sharing the parts more. And sometimes, and usually it's kind of two people that go back and forth, and then I'll kind of bring up the rear these days. But so the question was, because you weren't at the beginning, how does doing these calls, how's that affected you personally, and how's it affected your business?
Honestly, the first couple calls I had some guests. The last couple, it's been harder to get people to come. But for me personally, I think it's helped me get to know everybody on the team better. I mean, yeah. Terry, I've seen you a few times, but I've not really talked to you much. Eliza, I've talked to you once or twice, and it's really been nice to work together on this and grow as a team. And I think the confidence is certainly something that's coming. I think this whole process is proving to be duplicatable, but I also really have appreciated the team atmosphere and the working together.
Thanks, because if nobody said that, I was going to say it. So thank you for sharing that. You guys, this has been so much fun to see it evolve and see you guys step up. And I know that you could do this call without me. That makes me want to cry. I mean, it's just awesome. And so the whole concept is, I teach you, you teach others, right? And so, yeah, that's great. Hey, Eliza, would you like to introduce Tasha, because this is her first time on the call?
Yep. Hi, guys. This is Tasha McCormick down there, if you can see her. She signed up here recently. She is opening a wellness center. Is open. I know it was closed, Tasha. I'll give you a minute to kind of tell everybody about it. But she's a massage therapist who's wanting to dive more into the, the whole wellness center part of what she wants to offer people. And so she, saw Juice Plus as an opportunity to bring that to her clients. And her wellness center I know it's getting close to opening because I've seen pictures at least. And that's kind of how she got into the Juice Plus business part. She saw an option there for a family as well. She's got 2 kids and a husband that she thought this product would really help. And then also as a business with her clients. So we're here to help her grow and manage and help her get this going with her whole wellness.
Yeah, she's one order from finishing her HLP. So
welcome to Tasha.
Yeah.
Hi guys. Actually, the Wellness Center opened February 1st.
Yay!
So yeah, it's busy. I'm actually in the process of interviewing other therapists right now because I'm only one person. Honestly, it's just been by word of mouth is the only way that I've already gotten anybody, to be honest with you. I've been doing it myself, and my children have been on it. They love it. They make sure they take theirs every single day. And actually, little Dean, I know some of you know little Dean, he never got, knock on wood, never got sick all of this last few seasons. So that was really good. I was going to talk about how I was going to put it in the center. I was just going to have it, you know, out on display and have all the research material out there and everything. But I just, honestly, I'm still building the shelves to put it on. Okay, Mike is still building the shelves to put it on.
Right, right. Well, I wanted to. So thank you, all of you guys. And so we're looking for more stories because we get bored with listening to our own stories all the time. But we have had some other team members share stories. Customers can share stories. We can invite customers to Zoom calls because sometimes they don't really know what Juice Plus is. They're just taking it, right? And so I really would love to see this grow. Last week we had a leadership call and Lisa Radici shared a lot. And that call, by the way, is on the Dreammaker page. And it's something that's very inspiring to me about having more conversations and quality conversations with people and developing relationships, but setting goals and just all kinds of cool stuff. But they do one every Thursday night. And I'm thinking, okay, we're on the right track. I think this is kind of a newer thing in the Juice Plus how to do business kind of thing. And I think it's going to be our key to success. So anybody that's on this call that hasn't shared their story, or if you want to share it again, we're always excited about that. And like I did the Home and Garden Show in Dayton this weekend. So I'm grateful to have a call as I'm doing my follow-ups. Something that I can invite people to. But I have some insights for you, and I'll kind of hustle through these things. The fortunes in the follow-up, we've talked about that before, and I'll tell you a couple little stories about that. I was driving down to the Home and Garden Show Sunday, and this guy called me, and he said, "Is this Mrs. Russ?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "I need to order some Juice Plus." And I'm thinking, who are you? And he said, "Well, I went by your booth and I picked up your information and I want to order." And I'm like, wow. So he was at the EverDry booth. So I stopped at his booth to get his order and I said, "So what made you want to order Juice Plus?" And he said, "Oh, I've seen it at a whole lot of home and garden shows. And I don't know who had the booth, but I have been always wanting to do it. So you were here and I want to order through you." And I'm like, perfect. Plus he has a Down syndrome child, so that's probably fate. And so, somebody else didn't. So if you think you're pestering people, you're probably not. They just get busy and forget. And then I learned something else from the Dayton Home and Garden Show. I had a guy who wanted to order and become a rep, and I said, "Oh, well, we'll just put your order in under you when I'll show you how to do that." Well, we set the time. He was going to become a rep today, and he didn't show up for the call, and I should have put that order in and moved it under him. So there's another tip for you. And today when I was at the airport, this is just kind of how I do stuff. And I was waiting for the plane to take off, and this lady sat down, and Sandy does this. "Oh, you have the prettiest glasses," but she did. And we got to talking. She was all off of these stories. And I told her about these Norwex OptiCloths, and she'd never heard of it before. If I had been smart, I would have written down the name of my friend that sells Norwex and given her my card. I thought about that as I was leaving the airport, right? So there you go. Don't let that happen to you. And then the other thing is, we're taking a class. I'm taking a class. She had this picture of being hosed. Well, Wendy and I feel like we're getting hosed with two hoses. And this woman, her name is Mari Smith, and she is like the guru on internet marketing. And she's written a book, and I'll tell you just a second what the title of it is, but it really is all about relationships. And so a little of what I'm learning and have been doing a while anyway is to be present on Facebook. Create a following. You don't have to talk about Juice Plus. I don't want you to talk about Juice Plus. They already know what you do. I get more likes when I post something about Rebecca than anybody. I mean, tons. And the object is for you to become known. I can remember Eliza and I met through a networking organization, and somewhere along the line, one of those people said, it's not how many people you know, but how many people know you. And they want to know that you have integrity. And so in that circle, now I share that title with Eliza, but we're kind of known as the Juice Plus gurus. And we're going to be the go-to people in that circle and their circles, because they're going to say, oh, I want you to talk to my friend Carolyn, or I want you to talk to my friend Eliza. So there's a lot of that. There's a book, if you want to write down the name of it. I think you can go on Amazon and look at the first chapter for free. It's called The New Relationship Marketing by Mari, M-A-R-I, Smith, How to Build a Large, Loyal, Profitable Network. And so we'll be learning more about that. We'll learn a ton about that at conference. I, at this point, I'd be surprised if they don't have her talking somewhere to somebody. And then, are you guys looking at your insights that come on Wednesday? Because I'll be honest, sometimes I don't see it till the following week. But I was reading tonight about Jonathan Towes. Anybody know how you pronounce his name? And he's this big figure in Chicago, and he's partnered with Stephen Ritz, and he's trying to create a green Bronx machine kind of a thing in Chicago. And I don't know if he's a football player or what he is, but at any rate, he's a big deal. And if you go back to your insights thing, you can read about that. The other thing that I've kind of learned from all of this, I was so impressed with Lisa Radice's call, and she was talking about relationships and conversations and being really interested in people. So I've really tried to use some of the skills that I got with probably one of our deeper dive courses, but the Daring Greatly stuff, to really pay attention, because I flip around, but really hone in and look at somebody and listen, asking lots and lots of questions. That seems like a no-brainer, but I think it's hard. I was a teacher. I was taught to talk to people and tell them what I know. I wasn't taught how to listen, right? And so I just want to kind of throw that out there, and also to talk about some events. So we have this event this week. So let me just talk to you for a second about that. We're up to 93 guests. If you're local, there's still time to get a ticket. I bought a ton of tickets because so if you look at the math and you pay $25, first of all, a lot of people would like to come see what this venue is, because we got, even though it was $1,000 to rent it, that was a good price. And they just want to see it because it's like this amazing place. But let's say you are a VF and you paid $25 for somebody's ticket. So if they order and you earn $63, you're $38 ahead, plus it's going to ship 2 more times, and by that time you might be earning $76 on that box. So, but let's say you're still at 63, that's $164 on a $25 investment. So it's really worth that. And so I just invited people and offered to pay for their ticket. And a little trick I learned about that is that I should put on Eventbrite, put their email address in. I put my name and their name, but if I put their email address, the ticket goes to them. They'll see how much I paid for the ticket and hopefully actually show up and not stand us up, right? So that's Wednesday. Here's some other dates. Our live conference in Phoenix is the 26th through the 28th. They have amazing things that they're going to, that you always think, how can they do it better? But they always do it better. And they'll have onstage training from like 10 to 2 on Thursday. and then they'll have the whatever they call it from 5 to 7 Thursday night. And then I thought maybe we could go out to eat. And does anybody not like Thai? We went to a Thai restaurant last time, and it was pretty good. You don't like it, Sandy? Oh, I thought you did. Yeah. Everybody likes Thai? Okay.
You said, does anybody not like Thai? And I went, nope, not me. I'm fine.
Okay. All right. So events are what build your business. And I can tell you that going to one of these conferences will change your life forever. It will change your business, but it will change your life in ways that are unimaginable. If we have time, I'll let Eliza. She's our newest conference goer. She can share a little bit about that. But the other piece is we're not having the Buckeye Boot Camp this year, which is always within an hour's drive for us. And yet it's recommended that we get to one boot camp a year. And we didn't have to pay for a regional because we did a pajama regional and we just hung out in our pajamas at Wendy's house. We have another one of those coming up. So there's the one I thought might work the best because of logistics of where people have family and that Terry could even get to, it'd be closer for her than anybody, is in Philadelphia. And it's July 20th and 21st. I forget what a ticket is. It might be $169, but that's for 2 days and all your meals and that kind of stuff. And we could go up there and we could maybe rent an Airbnb and I'll hang out in the same house. So we need to be thinking about that and finding out who would actually come with us. Fran said she'd go. She promised me she'd drive me up there, actually. So I don't have to take Rick.
No, I didn't quite promise that, but I heard you say you wanted me to.
Oh, all right. Well, Fran likes to drive.
I like to drive. You could always ride with me out to Philly.
All right. Well, and you have family that direction too. So it just seemed to me that and we have this gentleman that's a new customer that has been hanging with us sometimes on the Tuesday night calls. So I don't know. I just picked that one and said, let's go for it. Let's see how many we can take. We can just make a party out of it.
Sounds like fun.
Great. It's a smaller, more intimate setting than conference. Conference is great, but they're two different things. So also on your calendar, August 3rd and 4th is the next pajama regional. So block that out. It's going to be at Wendy's Lake House with the pontoon. And then for the men in our lives, August 9th and 10th is Hillbilly Boot Camp with Mike Ewald at the farm. So if you have
not September, it's August.
Yes, August 9th and 10th. The other thing I wanted to make sure is that you all know about, because I don't know if I post stuff whether everybody gets that or not, but there's a group called, it's ongoing, you could add anybody at any time. It's called Stories of Hope, and it's for wannabe moms, pregnant moms of newborns. Just, there's a lot of fertility issues in the world today, and it's a great group, lots of really great information. So if you know people that would be a fit for, you can always add them. And it's in our team Facebook page if you need to find it. The other thing is contests. So our conference contest was twofold. There is a Post-it note contest. So for anybody who gets a qualified business, customer qualified business, that's 24 trios direct to yourself, you can earn $100. So if 10 of you do that, I'll be paying out $1,000. But, and that's like in this conference period. The other one is the person who gets the most trio orders between January 1st and the end of this month would get $100. So let me tell you where we are. These are the top three. Eliza has 7, Nancy has 6, and Terry has 3. So between now and the end of the month, we'll just see who can bypass Eliza, or if Eliza gets more, or whatever that looks like. But that's that's kind of where we are. And the other thing that I want to just mention is that, we have Monday night's call night. So we've got the possibility call with Wendy on the first Monday of the month. Those are great, great calls. And I would like to see more of us get on that. We kind of forget about it. And then she's sitting there doing a call with all reps and there's nobody new. And that gets really old. So just to respect her, I want to get more people on that call. Plus, who doesn't want to get their person in front of Wendy McGlawn doing the possibility call because she does such a good job. Then the second Monday is like the team call. And she did one last week on having a qualified business. I've posted that. It's really, really good. And I got a couple things to say about that in a second. And then we have this call. And then we have our Zoom calls. We're so focused on doing our own thing, we didn't even get on the Karen Jones call this month. I forgot to post it and nobody asked. So whatever. But I want to just talk a little bit because it's something I've been hearing a lot about is why is it we're doing this business? And for each one of us, I think it's because we care. We care about people. And sometimes we care more about people than we care about money. And that's why everybody's afraid, just calling an ace and a spade, to talk about the business on our Zoom calls. But I think we've come up with a way to do that in a way that's really non-threatening. So, because you guys have all said, nobody has to be afraid to bring somebody to that call, right? So I think that, and I just re-listened and looked at the numbers that Wendy ran, and having a customer qualified business is the way to care about more people because that's 24 trios direct to yourself. And she showed the difference between a paycheck of a customer qualified business and a qualified business that you're using dealers and DDs for that number of 1,000. And don't worry about it, Tasha, because you're not there yet. But you will be because you're on the way. And the paychecks are just incredibly different. I wrote the number down. Let me look at it. So the person who had the same number of total points with a customer qualified business was earning $376 a month. That's residual income that comes every month, which pays for your family's Juice Plus a little chunk change, right? The person who has a qualified business and maybe they only have 450 out of the 1,000 points, their paycheck's $219 because they don't have 12 or 24 with the retail sales profit and then earning the additional 5% on everybody under them. So I would love to talk more about that individually. Take a look at your business. Where are you? What would it take to do that? But not because we're all just so focused on the paycheck. It's like, who are the people we're missing that we're wanting to share this with? Like my best friend's husband, I didn't talk to her for years until I found out her husband, because I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to reach her, till I found out her husband had been diagnosed with cancer. And I always think, what if I'd talked to them sooner? And it's not going well for him. It's returned. So that kind of stuff kind of really gets you, I think, where it hurts. It's painful to see anybody that you might could have helped. But then I think, why is it that we're not? And I think it's our mindset sometimes. And I think we don't think big enough. I think that we need a possibility mindset. And I think that's what the Zoom calls are doing for us. They're helping us think bigger, see the possibilities, bring people, to the call educate them about the product. Those people, some of them will join our team at some point. And you don't have to rush that, you know. I mean, some people are like some of us who said, well, I just want to do this all at once. Just sign me up and I'll get the best possible price right away. But the best possible price isn't at $39 a box. It's helping more people. And but I think that's the reflection of how much we care. And the way that happens is to have more caring conversations. And when people know how much you care, they trust you. So you don't bring up Juice Plus the first time you start talking to somebody. Like if you're talking to somebody online, you need to talk for a really long time before you figure out a way to introduce the Juice Plus conversation, I think. So I don't know. That's mostly what I had for tonight, and we're pretty close to 30 minutes. But I want to open it up for you guys. I can stop the recording, and then if we have questions, we can do that.